Okay, this handstand drill is really good if you're a beginner to intermediate level, when you're starting to pull away from the wall and start to play with freestanding. So first of all, set yourself up 3 hand distances away from the wall. So 1, 2, 3. Place the shoulders on top of the hands, kick with control to the wall. Now you have this leg, just keep this leg away from the wall and just try and feel when the hands, the shoulders and the hips are stacked. You should feel that because you're not leaning too heavily against the wall and you're not leaning too far away so you pull off the wall. So stack that video from the side and then check that position in. So ideally what you'll see is the hands, the shoulders and the hips are all stacked on top of each other. Now the heel that's touching the wall should be very, very lightly touching. If it feels like it's got way too much weight, we need to take the other leg further away so it creates a counterbalance against this leg with the hip, shoulder and hands still stacked. This one very, very light. This one counterbalancing this one. So it should look something like this. So this heel is starting to feel very, very light against the wall and I can feel some control in the fingers and the hands and I'm not leaning against the wall and I'm not pulling too far in this direction. And then all we're going to do is see if you can swap legs. Do the same thing here, make this heel very, very light on the wall, swap legs. Now when we video ourselves from the side, what we're looking for is that the shoulder, hand, hip all stay stacked nicely as we continually swap legs. And then we just add to the fun. So we've got 2, 3, 4, let's go 5 now. So you look at 5 distance. For some of you, this might be too far. So go back to 4, go back to 3 and play with that control. Normally what's gonna happen is the further away from the wall, the longer the distance or the longer the time between contact of the wall, so the more you have to balance. So same thing, video from the side, make sure that hand, shoulder and hip are stacked, swap legs, keep it controlled, swap legs again. Notice now that the foot is that far away from the wall, it's actually got the toe lightly on the wall, not the heel. Now let's play with making this slightly harder. So now I'm going to go slower between the positions and pause for a couple of seconds in the straight handstand. I could do this with any of the distances. And then the next stage up is actually to ride the balance. So you slowly bring your legs together, you hold for as long as you can. As soon as you start to feel like you're losing balance, open the legs again and find the wall. Now, if you're a bit more comfortable, if you have a little bit more control, a little bit more experience with this and you're happy to bail out, you could do the same drill, but chest to wall. Set up exactly the same, video yourself from the side, try and find that point where you got your shoulder, hands and hip all stacked nicely. This toe should feel very light. Try swapping, nice and slow and controlled. Then you can slow them down and put the holds in exactly the same as the back to wall version. And then eventually you can do the same thing, but away from the wall, and practice that swapping legs, pausing in the middle, and just playing with that distances between the feet while maintaining the hands, shoulder and hip positioning. Though obviously this is much, much harder, but it's worth playing with occasionally once you build the confidence. Let me know how you go, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll speak to you next time.